We are down on track, ladies and gentlemen. Wowee. Look at that beautiful field. And if you can spot it down the back, that beautiful Ford Transit as well. With a satellite dish that is in communications with galaxies across the universe. Look at the size of that thing. Beaming SimSational TV straight into your YouTube channels and straight into your eyeballs. Through the optic nerve, straight into your brains. How much better can it get, Zach O'Reilly?
Can't get much better than that, Christopher. It cannot get much better than that. And have a look at that grid. It is absolutely ready and rip-snorting to go. We've got all the colours in the world. Everyone's ready to rock and roll. And I'll tell you what, Nick Mallow, goodness gracious me, I got the names wrong there. Nick Mallow. Then we've got behind him Alex McEwen. And that would be the second. Who was the second place getter again? I've completely lost it.
Cotter.
Matt Cotter. Sorry. Geez Louise. Sorry, Matthew. Should know you. All separated by 0.004 of a second. So this is where the strategy is going to come in. 17 laps, ladies and gentlemen, of hardcore racing. And there is no mandatory tyre or compound change. And these boys have learnt from watching the Tier 2 guys how long a soft tyre does last versus a hard tyre. So what are we going to see? Separating strategies, nonetheless, between two teammates, or are they all just going to go sailing around and race hammer and tong on one compound?
Yeah, I reckon the first race of the season, there are no team orders, so it's just hell for leather in all the teammates back there. Kind of like what McLaren is probably facing right now in the real world. But we're not going to talk about F1, ladies and gentlemen, because that, in comparison, is like watching paint dry compared to these Gen 3 supercars and what we're about to witness. I am spewing. I missed out on the Super 2 race, but hopefully these boys out here in the top tier can show them how it's done.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what these guys can do, because there's a little bit of mishap in Tier 2. But they all sorted themselves out at the end. But geez Louise, Hayden Cook held on for 13 laps, as much as he could on a soft compound tyre. That is your grid, ladies and gentlemen. You can see them ready to go. Lights are up, Christopher. Let's go.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, for race one here in the Tier 1. This is the top of the top, and it's a clean start from everyone. Look at Matt Cotter getting super taily off the front line. He's going to head Nick Mello down to the front line there. That looks like Daniel Cicluna just sending it up the inside. No, that's Harley Marshall. What a move there from Marshall. He goes up to second position. It looks like McEwen's off the road. Mello as well. Who's that around the outside? Daniel Cicluna. What a start there from everyone. Matt Munro sitting in sixth there, followed by Andre Elliott. We got Grant Ferguson and Will Kirk just swapping positions now. You see Kirk just setting around the outside of there. Is Andre Elliott just checking up there as well. But look at these cars come streaming through here. Ferguson just getting the better of it as we speak. Wowee, what vision here coming from Albert Park Raceway. Matt Cotter still leads with 3/10 over Harley Marshall out there in second position. A little gap now to Nick Mello and Matt Munro just on his ass as well. McEwen not far behind with Daniel Cicluna. Lachlan Grant chiming in. And look at this back here. We've got Scott Caldham, Jack Ferguson side by side now. Let's get a top view if we can. Look at this stuff. Ferguson's caught him off the road there, dipping a couple of wheels into the grass, but it looks like he has the better going, and he will head him off as it speaks. Jason McFadden just getting in front of Dean Hanley as well. But now the battle for the lead's on. Harley Marshall's made up some ground behind Matt Cotter. We're going to ride on board with him and just see where he's going to, or if he's going to try and make this move stick early on, because I think that's probably his best option. Get Matt Cotter while he's feeling a little bit green on those cold tyres, because once those tyres come up to temperature and pressure, Matt Cotter has the tendency to just start to walk away. But now is the time to strike for Harley Marshall, and he is giving him a red-hot crack.
Dead set in the fitting department. The two tyre compounds playing at each other. We've got softs and hards. Harley Marshall on the soft, Matt Cotter on the hard too. So Harley Marshall's just trying to try and get out. And there's a bit of a McEwen battle here. There is a six-way battle here. Look at this. Actually, four. Incredible, because McEwen's come a proper, and he's lost a couple of positions. Grant, Cicluna and Munro have all got there. McEwen's looking at a definite move here. Can he slide it underneath there of Matt Munro? No, he can't. Of Lachlan Grant, sorry. Matt Munro and Cicluna now side by side, coming out of turn two. Now they're looking at each other, and at the back here comes Lachlan Grant. He's off into the bunda as well, but he's got right up next to Cicluna. McEwen's trying to get a three-way suck here, but he can't get the job done at this point in time, at the point of not. But look at these two, neck and neck. Cicluna just got in front of Lachlan Grant there. Absolutely sensational stuff. McEwen's under all sorts, because Fergo's around the outside. Oh no! And and the captain and him have come together. Captain Kirk nearly punted off Fergo. Fergo with some car control got it done, but he's on the slide there too. And here comes Jason McFadden right behind them as well. So now it's 10th, 9th, and 8th having a good crack at each other. Then we've got 7th, 6th, 5th, and 4th all having a good crack at each other as well. You cannot look anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. There's just too many battles on the track here. But now, there's got a four-way suck battle here. Down the back straightaway we go. Lachlan Grant is on the back here of McEwen because McEwen's got past him. So Lachlan Grant had a mare coming out of turn 7, sorry. Now they're coming up into turn 9, but Cotter and Marshall have changed lead positions here.
Yeah.
This is job done. Cotter has got the chockies at the moment on the inside, but Marshall has got the soft tyre compound on. Who can break later here? Is it going to be Matt Cotter? Is it going to be Marshall? Neck and neck in the racing department. Trailer Park Girl style here for Harley Marshall. Can he get the job done? He can. Oh, they're bumping doors as well. No love lost between the two of them. Matt Cotter does not care what compound he's on. He's trying to race and touch each other. Great quarter battle style. Here comes Nick Mello. He has got the chockies, and Cotter has just sideswiped him out of an apex. Now they're looking at each other. Three-way battle. It is now a soft tyre in the lead. Two hards right behind him. We've got Cotter and Mallow on the hard tyre. What can these boys do between each other? I think Nick Mallow's going to have to sit there and watch Cotter at the moment because Marshall is going to skip off into the distance here for probably the next 7 or 8 laps if he can keep that driving line on point. But these guys now all in the battle of the ages because Cotter is a slidey customer but also a slippery one too. Braking, accelerating, under brakes, you name it. He slides that car everywhere, somehow gets it pulled up. It's incredible to watch him. And Nick Mallow, quite the contrary in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see if any of these guys kind of change their driving styles from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3. Obviously, a lot less downforce in these cars, so they are very much alive under your right foot and your left foot, come to think of it. So a lot more care taken or needed to tippy-toe these cars around these circuits. But let's go back here to Andrew Ferguson because he is right in the thick of it here. He's got Lachlan Grant and Cicluna not far in front of him as well. Will Kirk just chiming in on the back as well. These guys going hammer and tong. As you look up and down this timing tower, there are battles emerging everywhere you look. So Ferguson here now, we are right on board looking out the front way and see if he can make some ground on Lachlan Grant. There you can see Lockie just getting a little bit sideways through turn 9 and 10, but seems to get that Camaro. Wow, actually it's looking all sorts of in trouble here at the moment, and Ferguson might even take advantage now. He's going to look towards the inside, maybe throw the dummy. He thinks better of it, gets back to the racing line, very close to give that Camaro a little kiss in front, but now he's right in the business seat here, looking at the whites of Lockie Grant's eyes in the side mirror there. You can almost see it on the broadcast. Ferguson rip-roaring and ready to go. He's made up a few positions off the start, and the old boy is showing these young guys how to do it here at Albert Park tonight. Look at Ferguson, look at Grant just getting all sorts of sideways. This might just be the opportunity for Andrew Ferguson to make the move up here into turn 1. He pulls out of the slipstream, very nicely done. Now it's all up to just getting on the brakes, spotting your turn-in marker and getting the job done, and that is what he does into turn 1. Brilliant move, Andrew Ferguson.
Great stuff from him. That battle up front is heating up too. We've got first, second and third, fourth, all having a good crack at each other. Matt Munro has got past Matt Cotter too, so Matt Cotter just came up the inside and tried to get the job done, but Cotter just thought better of it, out of it, and he just thought, I'll just keep myself there. But now Matt Munro looking very racing up the arse end of Nick Mallow too. So 0.5 of a second versus 0.3 of a second. Which way does Matt look in his rear vision or front at the moment? He's looking very racy. Yeah. But Cotter just trying to get a grips at the moment. You'll learn to underdrive these vehicles. That's exactly what you have to do to keep your pace up. Matt Munro driving excellently here. Now trying to hound the back of Nick Mallow. But we'll see what these guys can do, because at the moment Cotter's got the suck. He has got the prowess on. Is he going to make a move up inside turn 9 here at the moment? No, he's not. But Matt Munro really early on the brakes just checks up the Cotter there, and they both basically had to check each other up because Matt Munro's on the slide out of it. The car behaviour is incredible on these cars. We love seeing this. They're going absolute balls to the wall action style. If you want anything that's better than this, I'll go eat me shoe. I'll give you the hot tip.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll eat your shoe as well, and while I'm at it, I'll drink a red wine out of mine. But this is fantastic to see, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's all just started to calm down just a little bit, but look at Harley Marshall just taking advantage of that soft tyre now and putting 4.2 seconds now to Nick Mello, who is on the hards. Behind him, Munro on the hards. Cotter on the hards as well. It seems like most of the field back here on the hards. Is Harley Marshall the only one on softs? My timing tower is not telling us what the compounds are. You have to look in the middle of your screen there where we've got the F1 label there in the middle. You can see what tyre they are on, and I'll get that fixed up during the break. But down the back here, there's a little battle heating up. Let's have a look. Brandon Pierce has found himself down in 16th position, so maybe just getting shuffled back off the start there, but he's giving Junior Ferguson a bit of curry now down into turn 3.
Yeah, definitely. You can see him up the inside. Fergo's giving him a lot of berth there, and that has allowed Fergo to stay around the outside, but give Brandon Pierce half a chance to get himself back underneath. Now we've got Clint Goff right behind him. The far Goff is looking to do exactly that past these two, because at this point in time, it is very hairy at the moment. Look at Brandon Pierce. He's right up the side here of Junior Fergo. Junior's going to have to look in his mirrors, but now they're going side by side. That is an incredible overtaking move. That is guts there from Brandon Pierce. He knows he can be inside the top 5 or so, and he's just going to gallop off away from this, but he's got company. He has got 4 angry cars, nearly 5 as well, joining in this battle. Now Fergo's got the suck on him. What is Fergo going to do? They pull out at each other's rear ring mirrors and see what they can do. Now Fargoff's got a beautiful run. He's got a double suck here. Is he going to take Fergo's place as well? We'll see. No, just cuts the nose up there as Junior Fergo, but Pierce is wide in front. That's going to happen him. Oh no, there's Fergo come together with Fargoff, and he's gone way back as Fergo. He's gone down to 19th at the point in time. That is incredible stuff there from all of them. Somehow Ferguson kept it on the circuit, and I'll tell you what, it is all happening here because Cotter and Munro are fighting over 3rd and 4th, Hammer and Tom. Harley Marshall, 5.5 seconds out in front. Is that going to be enough with 14 laps left in this race? I don't know. We'll see that gap climb and descend and whatever you want to do. Andre Elliott, Dean Hanley swapping and changing positions well, but look at this. These guys are now right in it at this point in time. Hanley all over the back here of Andre Elliott. The two boys who are friends of circuit. No love lost here on the track as well. Up at the inside. Ooh, Dean Hanley thought about that one. He thought about it. So did the man himself. But geez Louise, in front of this battle is clean air. So all Andre Elliott has to do is just focus on where he needs to be on the track, and hopefully that Dean Hanley can't get past him. Kirk now is looking very, very racy here in the other of the two very similar AK Racing livery cars here, but Simblacks doing very, very nicely up the back end there of Scotty Cordham.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a lot of yellow and black out there on the circuit here in this tier, so it's keeping us on our toes. We've got Harley Marshall out there in a yellow and black car. We've got Matt Cotter, we've got who else? McFadden and Elliott and Hanley. All the Simblacks cars look fantastic, by the way. Will Kirk's is no exception. So looking up and down the field, this could be the closest battle on track here at the moment. Clint Goff just giving Benny Asplin here in his first time out in AK Racing Supercars in the old Brody Kostecki livery. Looking pretty good, actually. Just holding off Goff for the moment. Currently standing, we've got 6 laps down of 19 to go. So still 13 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen here. We've got pit stops when these tyres wear out. Do we have a pit stop here, ladies? Should I say ladies and gentlemen? Zach O'Reilly, do we have a pit stop here?
No mandatory soft change or anything. Whoa. But in terms of the guys who are on soft, I'll give them to you really quick. Harley Marshall in first place is on the soft. Then we've got no one on the soft compound until that man, Benny Asplin and Clint Goff. The next guys. Then in 21st, 22nd, and 25th in Fergo, Hughes, Ezra Simmons, Dion Clerk, and Marshall are the only guys on the soft tyre. So we've got to look out, ladies and gents, because that gap at 5.2 seconds at 6 laps in
Matt Cotter's
could start to decline. So there goes Matt Cotter. He's off. I had a look at him just at the point and not there. Look at 2 screens at the same time, and he's lost 2 places. So now Alex McEwen's got past him. Matt Munro now has got McEwen in his mirrors, having to worry about him. What can we see from these guys? I'm not too sure, ladies and gentlemen, but this is now a Wednesday Cup battle between the rest of them. Holy mackerel, indeed. These guys are not friends off circuit. I can guarantee you that. They're silent assassins to each other. But now, at the moment, Matt Munro on the slide, on the dance, trying to gap Alex McEwen at this point in time. Wow, and that is poor old Igmanis off the field. He's lost a couple as well. Goff's got past him too. So, Igmanis on the hard, Goff on the soft. And then we've only got Dion Clerk and Marshall with the rest of them as Harley Marshall as well on the soft tyre.
Yeah, so those guys are going to be hanging on to those tyres to the end. I reckon they're going to be in all sorts of trouble, perhaps, to the end of this race. These guys on the hard still keeping up good pace, but look at McEwen now, all over the back of Matt Munro, just scraping the outside wall on the entry there to 9. Getting as far over to the left there. I don't know if that was a little track cut. These guys only get 5 track cuts, ladies and gentlemen, deemed by the server. So if you go into your 6th cut, you will get a little trip through memory lane. And by memory lane, I mean pit lane. And that is going to cost you about 30 to 40 seconds. And when the field is bunched up like this, that'll probably put you straight back down to the very end of this field. But Matt Munro doing his best here, missing the apex there a little bit, and McEwen's going to just make up a few tenths as well, get right underneath that rear wing and look for a little bit of suck now down the front straight here for the 8th time. Now into lap 9, and McEwen all over the back of Matt Munro, proving to be just a little cork in the bottle, because Matt Cotter now lines up as well behind Alex McEwen, and this probably bodes well for Munro as well, because this is a tactic I used to do all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Just back whoever is behind you up into especially an attacking customer like Matt Cotter. And it looks as if McEwen knows that his number's up.
No!
Oh, Matt Munro's just outbraked himself. Lost 2 positions there. Matt Cotter now trying to look to take advantage. A little tap to McEwen. Wow, now he's on the wrong side of the street here. And Matt Munro's going to get the run on both of them, I think. Look at this. He's up the inside. Is Matt Cotter now on Alex McEwen. They're going to bump doors. Very respectful racing so far. A little switchback, but look at the run here from Munro. He's going around the outside. McEwen just boxed in to Matt Cotter. This is unbelievable racing so far. Oh, he's getting squirrel. He's almost off the street. This is unbelievable, Zach O'Reilly.
This is incredible. Look at the 2 in front of them go hammer and tong. McEwen versus Cotter. These are the 2 compatriots we want to look out for. And here comes Daniel Secluda getting involved in this too now. So it's all going to be on for young and old here. Wow, hey, Matt Munro has got the worst possible position at this point in time, but outbraked himself into turn 3. But now he's got a beautiful view in front of him of these 2 guys going at it hammer and tong, knowing how hard you can race these Gen 3 Supercars. He's up for it. Here comes McEwen. He's gone for the switch back up the inside on Cotter. Cotter's just sailed it around the outside. But here comes Matt Munro. He's trying to get involved in this. So is Secluda too. The more that these guys battle on, the more they're going to draw in the rest of them. And you can even see Fergo and Grant in the background now chiming in on this too. So a bit of switchback moving. Absolutely under braking. McEwen's gone wide and he's out of it. Now Matt Munro is going to be singing for the high heavens because Cotter's sailed around the outside. Now he's got the underlap over here on Alex McEwen. Now to drag race down the front straightaway. What can we see between all of these 3 guys? Matt Munro's got the chockies at the moment on Alex McEwen. If he can send it up the inside, he's just about far enough in. He does. He does not fade away from that one. McEwen, Munro, done. McEwen out and break by Munro. Munro's going to have the worst run out here on turn 2 as well. He's got McEwen on the outside. McEwen's on the advantageous side of the circuit now. Side by side down into turn 3. The heavy braking zone. Here we go. Now they're looking at each other. Munro, McEwen, both braking at the same point in time, but here comes Secluda as well, going for a switch back up the inside, and you can see how quickly this battling is drawing in Ferguson and Grant into this battle. This could be a 5-way battle within about 5 or 6 corners if they keep this up. This is incredible.
Yeah, Cotter just showing a clean pair of heels as well, while these guys just squabbling for the minor positions. Absolutely fantastic job there by Cotter, just getting around these guys at the point that they needed to. Matt Munro almost putting it into the wall, somehow gathering it up, and now Secluda is going to have a good old look at him while Munro's off the street there. This could be disaster here for Munro. He has just got it going in the right direction. His old mate Ferguson's up the inside as well. Wowee, we're going to ride on board with Munro here because he's just barely hanging on to that Camaro here and keeping it in a straight line. How's he done it? All these guys may be struggling a little bit now for tyres, but we're not even halfway distance here. Well, we just are now. So still half the race to go. What a race is Fabian Fitness in the chat. Absolutely. We knew it was going to be like this, ladies and gentlemen. My voice is going to be done for days, but look at this. Oh, no. Ferguson's lost it in front of Munro. Maybe, it has been his fault. Look, he's just slowing down now. There, that's going to be Frosty in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Cordham goes up a position. Elliot goes up a position. Everyone does. Unreal stuff.
Frostier than an Eskimo's dick between those 2. Harley Marshall's in the pits already, ladies and gentlemen. Those tyres were down. It was 2.2 seconds, the gap between himself and Nick Mallow at the point of knot. So now Harley Marshall has come to fruition and said enough's enough on those soft tyres. He's going to sail down that order at a rate of knots. Not the optimal strategy, I would say, for the Tier 2 guys. It happened in Tier 1 and it nearly came to fruition for Hayden Cook, but not the case in the Tier 1 guys. Are just a little bit too quick and consistent to make up those positions. What can Harley Marshall do in the background? He's come out in 14th place. It's happening in the background. Benny Asplund and Goff have come in too. So the other soft runners now also pitting. McFadden, however, into 6th place, doing really, really well here for the Rangiat Sim Blacks guys.
Yeah.
He's right on the back there of Lachlan Grant, and now these two can have a good old tussle between each other. 5/10, 6/10, you name it. Is McFadden going to be right up there? We don't know. The timing tower just having an absolute epileptic fit on the side. Ignore that, as Spewing Newing somehow as he inserts himself in 14th place, but he's actually in 20th. McFadden, however, is flying. He's 3/10 up on his own personal best here, and he just needs to keep it straight and clean because he's got a bit of a suck here. Half a suck off Lachlan Grant coming into T10. What can we see between these two? We'll have to check on board to see what these guys do into that turn to see how the wheel work is from McFadden. He's just sailed it in on the point of knot. We'll find out on the exit. Shifts it into 3rd, into 4th. Now he goes bang straight into it. Now Lachlan Grant's got a little bit hairy on exit. You can see how half a tenth, ladies and gentlemen, basically loses you a car width. And now goes McFadden up the inside. He's going to sail it down the inside of Lachlan Grant. Have they leave enough racing room for each other? They have. Beautiful stuff there from McFadden. He's left exactly the amount of room there for Lachlan Grant. No complaints here from the stewards. Now Lachlan Grant's trying a trailer park girl move. Going to stick it around the outside here. Defend his position for P5 and 6. This is incredible stuff. McFadden's on the outside, but now on the inside for the final turn here at Albert Park. Can he get the job done? He can, but he's on the slide.
No.
He's lost it all, though. All the momentum's gone out of that one. Lachlan Grant had to check up as well. So now it's neck and neck. You can see that pace advantage coming from Lachlan Grant. Ready to rock and roll. You can absolutely tell what's going on. Fabian Finders, bang, thank you very much, $3. Let's go, Harley Marshall. He says, Lachlan Grant, however, has taken the P back off McFadden there for P5 and 6, and it's not over, Christopher Munro. They're going once again. McFadden's on the outside here, taking off onto the bunda. Now he's going to have another crack at here at turn 3.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the pace advantage here at the moment, does McFadden, but Grant just doing a great job in defence, placing that Camaro exactly where it needs to be to stifle any sort of forward momentum there for Jason McFadden. He'd be just a little bit frustrated with that, but there's nothing nothing untowards there from Grant. Just a beautiful defensive driving, and look at this, it's starting to bring the boys into contention. Back here is Scott Cordham. He's being chased by Andre Elliott as well, and you can just see in the distance there Brandon Pearce, Will Kirk and Ferguson having a little tussle as well. We're going to ride on board with Ferguson now because he's got the captain in his sights after a little bit of a shove earlier on, or a coming together from Munro. But look at Marshall's back out on track now with the another set of soft tyres. So he is flying, ladies and gentlemen. He gets around Matt Munro. Look at that car. Hang on a minute. Look at the front end of Matt Munro's Camaro. That's seen more hits than Google. That is dead set done for, but he'll be struggling in the pace department, especially with the lack of downforce there on the front. So he's just in damage, I guess. I don't even know. Stop the damage mode. How do you say that in an eloquent fashion? Who knows? Because it's SimSational TV, we just say what comes to mind. But here's the battle now heating up. Grant McFadden caught him now. It's 7 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's all spicing up.
Spicing up Dodgy Vindaloo style. Here we go. Scotty Cordham's got himself back in this game, ladies and gentlemen. I told you he'd be back in there. Just a little bit disappointed with qualifying, but nonetheless, the race department, he has got those hard setup. Absolutely beautiful at this point in time, and you can see how smooth he is. Not any hint of oversteer on exit, just dancing it beautifully there, and you can see what he's doing. He's got 7th place, 6th place up for grabs in front of him. He's not doing anything to put a pressure on here, because if he does that, he's going to be under threat here from Andre Elliott right behind them too, and Brandon Pearce also. So another thing going on there. Marshall and Kirk have switched positions in 10th and 11th as well, and I think that was Kirk up the inside who got that job done, but it was Harley Marshall who got the job done over Captain Kirk, and now Kirk is under all sorts because here comes Fergo too on the slide there. Wow, cracking stuff car control wise there from the captain, but the afterburners well and truly need to come on. Fergo just takes the narrow line through there, gets it pointed and sorted, then drifts it wide. There's the captain. Now Fergo's got all of the suck he needs. Fergo absolutely up the inside because the Kirk's off in the bunda, so he's going to take this position now. Now it's going to be all up to downforce. who's got the least amount of downforce on that rear wing. And the shorter radius around the inside there for Captain Kirk is working to his advantage. They're going to go side by side here. Fergo's just going to have to check up and wait once more, unless he does an Oscar Piastri and just sends it down the inside on the final go. He does that. Absolutely beautiful stuff there from Fergo. Says, piss off, I'm out of here. And into 11th place at the moment. 2.6 seconds up the road is Harley Marshall. What's happened to Lofton Grant?
Oh, no, he's actually just sent it off the track there. What happened there to Grant? No, that's Munro I saw. Both in the Mobil 1 livery. Munro having an absolute nightmare now. He has slapped the wall harder than you can imagine, and he will have to maybe go into the pits and get that repaired. But his teammate now all over the back of Andre Elliott. Look at this gaggle of cars. You've got Elliott, Grant, Pierce, Marshall, McFadden chiming in. McFadden just hitting the wall there as well, trying to avoid it. But Pierce and Marshall now side by side. And as you can see, Elliott and Grant as well in front. Who's going to take the chockies here? Grant just slides in front of Elliott. McFadden slides in front of Pierce as well. It's Harley Marshall there on the soft tyres, so expect him to make up some room here. Look at him go. We're just waiting down here at the turn 3, and Andre Elliott just shoving it up the inside, saying, no, mate, you're not going to have it that easy. But Harley Marshall just with the better acceleration and the grip in the rear tyres department. He's just picking these guys off one by one. He was out in the lead, ladies and gents, earlier in this race by about, I think it was a 6.5, 7-second lead by the time he came into the pits. And he is one of only a few that started on the soft tyre and opted for a pit stop in this race that does not require one. But back here, the race is on. Pierce, let's get a top view because this is all happening. We've got Grant, Pierce, McFadden and Ferguson all chiming in. Sorry, it's Elliott, Grant, Pierce and McFadden. Here goes Grant up the inside. He will take 7th position, but for how long, who knows?
Oh, look at this. Look at Brandon Pierce trying to get up the inside there of Andre Elliott at the point of not. But this is exciting stuff because they're all on the same compound. This is all even Steven sort of stuff. The physics on these cars as well are all the same. There is nothing between them apart from driver skill and setup. And here goes Brandon Pierce setting up a move on Andre Elliott. Can he get the job done? I think Andre Elliott just had a moment there. The brakes, I think he did. And that allows Brandon Pierce straight through. You can see it squirreling there on the brakes for Andre Elliott. So the dock has gone back one position. Pierce up one position himself. And that is cracking stuff there. Pressure point motors. Everett Pierce has gone ultra defensive there on the second last turn of the Melbourne Grand Prix circuit. But nonetheless, cracking stuff for Pierce. So he's on the hard compound. He's got his rhythm now. He's got the flow. He needs to keep it on because the two guys behind him are now battling hammer and tong in McFadden and Elliott. Two Rangiart customers against each other. And I think McFadden's going to have an absolute sensational run here, but he's going to think twice about it. Just pulls out at the last moment. Lets Andre Elliott go for one more corner or maybe 2 or 3. Who knows? But Doc has got a beautiful run out of there. Just short shifted into 4th and says, bang, see you later, I'm out. McFadden on the slide there, as you can see, right on the point of knots. But nonetheless, cracking racing from all of them. Fergo hot on the heels there. McFadden's dancing it on the rear end. Wowee, more tangos right there in the Gen 3 department. Tell you what, some of the So You Think You Can Be Dancing or whatever that TV show was will be absolutely jealous here at the moment. The ass shagging is absolutely sensational here. And Fergo right on the clacker here of McFadden putting all sorts of pressure. And Dean Hanley's going to come through soon. I reckon he and join this party for maybe a snag of the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Only 5 minutes to go. Oh, sorry, 5 laps to go here. So starting to get to the pointy end. Up here, Pierce is going to make the move on Grant because Grant just sends it out into the grass. Strange place to be ended up in the grass there. Maybe just a little bit down on downforce there in the Mobil 1 Camaro. But Pierso, at one point of time, he was down in 16th position, so he is making up the ground very nicely indeed. But tell you what, who's going to chase down Nick Mello at the moment? He is out there in front and he's got it all his own way. 6-second gap back to Matt Cotter with 5 laps to go. Geez, it's going to be tough for these guys to run him down, especially because Alex McEwen's just trying to tack onto the back of Matt Cotter as well. Project 4 sitting 1st and 3rd. This is not what everyone wanted to see, ladies and gentlemen, at least the competitors of these guys. They are certainly turning the screws here. Project 4, great showing. Back here in 4th is Daniel Cicluna as well. So he's just out here in no man's land at the moment, and it's probably the way he wants it, to be honest. You see all these guys just sticking their elbows out, very much so, and he wants nothing to do with that. He'll be happy with 4th at the moment. That's a big haul of points as well. Harley Marshall on the soft tyre. Can he make up the 7.8 second gap to Daniel Cicluna in front? He is on the softer compound, but they're probably starting to get a little bit second hand now as well with 4 laps to go. There's a little battle forming down the back here. Dean Hanley, the man who is coached by the super coach himself, is making ground here on Andrew Ferguson, who in turn has got McFadden, Elliott and Grant all in front of him. Pearce heads the way a little bit further down the order, or up the order, should I say, down the road. But can Hanley put the pressure on Ferguson and maybe make up a position here towards the end of the race?
I think he can, because he's got a beautiful run here out at turn 5 and 6 compound. Now he's on to 7. Now we're on to 7. Now at turn 8 coming up, and he's got a beautiful suck here. Around the outside is going to go. Fergo's not going to give that position up lightly. I'll give you the hot tip. So I think he's on the last end of the limiter bashing there for the both of them. Trying to sail it around the outside. He should have just done what Oscar Piastri did there, because you can see in front of him, McFadden is right on the arse. And oh no, Hanley's in the fence.
Oh, no.
He's out. He's absolutely punted himself. And that front bumper is looking very second-hand in the splitter department. The commentator cursed him. Oh my goodness. But Andre Elliott, straight up the inside here of Lachlan Grant. They come together. Fergo's gone wide as well. Imagine Dean Hanley right there with him too. But Andre Elliott now up into 8th place. Got the job done on Lachlan Grant. Lachlan Grant's going for the switchback. But here comes McFadden as well, looking at these two. Getting in amongst it as well. He's gone straight up the inside as McFadden cut the inside curb, taking that place. Holy mackerel indeed. Wow, McFadden up into 9th place. This guy has not given up at all as Brian's cousin.
Yeah.
His deal for the whole season, ladies and gentlemen, in Wednesday Cup and the V8 Supercars is every position inside the top 10. He gets another 10,000 follicles of hair inserted into his cranium, because he is bald as a badger, the poor bastard. Absolutely bald. But Cicluna doing really nice. He's just racing his own race here, hoping that these two guys of McEwen and Cotter come together at some point where he can ask himself right into that battle. But 4th place is clean air. This is going to be great education for him coming up in the next race, which is a 38 lapper. Yeah,
it's good to get a nice run of I guess non-battling, and you can really take account of how the tyre wear affects your grip overall and the balance of the car. So it's Cicluna taking notes here indeed about how he's going to attack the longer race, the feature race coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So that is all going into the data bank there. But down the field a little further, we saw Nathan Hughes make up a little bit of ground. We haven't seen Hughesy out there today. Look at that liveries. Beautiful colours there. A sucker for green and black. So he's out there chasing down Scotty Garrick and a couple of Mustangs down the order. But how it is, where's the closest? Let's have a look at a Toyota Supra. We have not seen one on the broadcast already. He's the first one in the order. Is down here in 21st position, Dion Clerk. Let's have a look at this car. It is a lovely little prototype of what we're going to see next year in the V8 Supercars official IRL series. It might look a little bit different once it comes out on track, but this is what the artist's interpretation of what it may be when we go racing finally. But let's look up the order, because Munro and Junior Ferguson just swapped a position. Munro still persisting with that front bar, just absolutely hanging on by one little plastic clip there, and doing its best job. But 2 laps to go, so there's no point pitting now. He's just got to hang on and do his best. Dean Hanley now looking at Matt Munro's teammate there is Lockie Grant, both of those guys in the Mobil 1 livery. Dean Hanley, let's see what kind of notes he's taken from the Supercoach in terms of racecraft and how to set up and overtake Zach O'Reilly. You might be able to give us an insight into the learnings or the teachings of the Great One.
Well, he's about to do it now, because Lachlan Grant is dancing on that rear end, and he's got that job done beautifully there. All the way back from 12th. He was 12th and 8 seconds away, and within 3 laps, ladies and gentlemen, he's back up into 11th place. So, right at the point of knot, the old coaching has come into fruition. He's found his rhythm, although that will be a track cut there. So, hopefully he hasn't got too many acquired already for Dean Hanley. But now he's got Fergo in front of him, top 10. This guy on track, I'm going to give him a plug. He was dead set on the point of knot in Dean Hanley, getting into the Tier 1. And dead set came through with the chockies after a bit of the old expert coaching. and a bit of setup praise, but he's right there on the edge of the top 10. Nathan Hughes, Chris Munro's favourite livery on circuit, is really coming onto the back of these guys, because Junior Ferguson has got past Matt Munro because his front splitter is creating the biggest draft, and so behind him as well is Scotty Garrick. Look at Scotty Garrick's car as well. It is dead set, absolutely shagged at the moment. That is used up more than a $2 you-know-what. And I'll tell you what, these guys are 100% racing in the lack of front-end grip department. They are absolutely hammer and tong here. It's a great equaliser. Maybe all the cars in the top 5 should just start with some damage on the front and see how they go against the rest of them. But nonetheless, it is all incredible stuff. I've got 3 minutes left in the commentary box, Christopher Munro. Hopefully that's enough here for the final lap.
Yeah, well, I think it might be. We've got 2 laps to go. It'll be very close indeed. It just depends how fast you can get to the car and to where you need to go. But almost on the last lap now, Nick Mello is setting purple sectors, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. So he's not mucking around out there. He's actually, the gap has been closed a little bit since last time we had a look. Matt Cotter's now getting on his bike and just learning the car, getting a little bit closer to Nick Mello. But Mello doesn't have to do anything silly out in front. He's just got to bring it home and take the chockies, and he will certainly be glad to do that. But let's go back here to this gaggle of cars. Half of them are all banged up. They'd be understeering like a shopping trolley here at the moment. Munro and Garrick's car in particular. Look at the damage is almost comical. But let's ride on board with Hughesy and see if he can just take advantage of these 2 guys, because they were, from what I noticed last time around, very slow down the straight. I think the downforce or the aero damage is a lot there, but look at Hughes just getting all sorts of sideways as well. Even the hard tyres are starting to prove to be a little bit of a thorn in the side of these guys, going 19 laps all the way home. Fabian getting funny there in the chat. Everyone out there in SimSational land, if this is your first time watching SimSational TV, don't be shy. Give us a subscribe and a like. It goes all the way towards giving you the best sim racing commentary and broadcasting that is that is possible here in this time zone. We've got we're live 5 nights a week at least now. So if you're down for a bit of commentary action, this is the place to be. Zach O'Reilly, I'll let you commentate the last lap.
Thank you very much. It's been incredible to watch this race. It's been incredible to watch the Super 2 race. Wowee, what a finish we had. What a qualifying session we had for this tier as well. 4 thousandths of a second split the top 3, but it's anything looking like that at the moment, because Nick Mello 5 seconds out in front of the lead, and this is how you go racing, ladies and gentlemen. You just cut that inside curb. You use all the exit you possibly can around the turn 5, 6 corner. Then you got turn 7 coming up. Then you got turn 8 coming back to the left. It's incredible to see here, but Fergo and Hanley are right on each other's tail at the moment too. This is Dean Hanley's time to shine. He's got inside the top 10. Fergo giving him a bit of how's your father about it. Not too happy about getting outside the top 10 for a place in the Fergo household. I think Dean Hanley's just going to sail off into the distance here. This could be incredible stuff from the both of them. Where is this battle going to end up? Is it going to be 10th place for Dean Hanley? Or I think it is at the moment, because Fergo right on the slide here. What are these two going to do? Because Fergo close enough for a bit of a suck. Down the back straightaway we go. Well, not even a straight, really a curvy sort of straight section here. 11th place and 10th place up for grabs in the Fair Dingle Racing Department. Dean Hanley's way out in front at the moment. Come on, says Fergo, for a top 10, says Gary Ward. But I'll tell you what, Nick Mello is going to take us to the checkered flag here tonight. Bang on time for me to piss off out of the commentary box, as sad as I am to do so. What a drive here from Nick Mello. Takes the first win and of the first one of the night out of 2 by a country mile. 4.5 seconds or thereabouts over the man behind him. Matthew Cotter takes 2nd place, and Alex McEwen in 3rd place also. Cracking stuff from Daniel Cicluna, 4th as he crosses the line. Harley Marshall is about to cross the line for 5th too. And that is all over bar the shouting on Dean Hanley watch at the moment. He is going to take 10th place here. Fergo is 1 second behind him. So this man, thank you very much. Well done, son. You can only drive it. I can only tell you what to do. But cracking stuff from top 10 for the first race of the first season of the Gen 3 Supercars goes to Dean Hanley. Well done. Product of Zach O'Reilly's Driver Education School. There you go. So he's got no excuses, ladies and gentlemen. He's got to be up the order every single time. But this man on screen tonight, wowee. He qualified 3rd,
He took his opportunities when they presented them. And once he got to the front, geez, he was just turning the screws out there and really sending a bit of a message to his competitors out there today as well. That's what you want to do in the first race of the season too. Make sure you assert your dominance as the big dog. But we'll bid you farewell, Zach O'Reilly. Thank you very much for joining us and starting off the commentary while we had to do a bit of tag teaming as we both have lives outside of sim racing. Believe it or not, it's a sad thing. I wish we didn't, but it is as it is. So we bid you farewell, Zach O'Reilly. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Christopher Munro. Thank you to all of the viewers for sticking around from the start of tonight's proceedings here at AK Racing's Gen 3 inaugural round here for their Supercars. And it's a cracking event, and it's been a pleasure to be with you guys, and also beside myself with the man, the myth, the legend, Christopher Munro, who puts the M in magnificent. But goodbye for now, and I will see you guys tomorrow night, in fact, on SimSational TV. But the racing is going to go on. 38 lapper coming your way shortly. Munro's going to take you through it. Goodbye for now.
And we continue on, ladies and gentlemen.
User disconnected from your channel.
Crossing line second as the boys just sort themselves out here into the winner's circle. Nick Mello losing the back end there. That's a little embarrassing. He's going to have to reverse it up and pop it in the middle. Here we go. That is the shot, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Project 4. Two of them on the podium here tonight. Nick Mello winning the race. Matt Cotter, we've not seen him since the Gen 2s last year, so he is come out firing there in the 99. Can't miss that livery either. And Alex McEwen just sitting there in third position. Cracking stuff from him, as always. Mr. Consistent, they call him. But wowee, what a race, ladies and gentlemen. We've got, as we said, a 38 lapper or a 39 lapper coming in. So that's double the length of this one. We're going to see a little bit more strategy here, perhaps some soft tyres, some hard tyres, and maybe some 2 stoppers, 3 stoppers, who knows. But the strategies are going to be on, and we're going to be taking you through every single moment of the next race coming up. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it's time to have a short break as we gear up for the feature race of this evening. Who's going to take the chocolate? Can Nick Mello just continue his dominance here today? Or will Matt Cotter, Alex McEwen, Cicluna, Marshall, Cordham, any of these guys? Can Matt Munro make up some positions after looking pretty good up until he met with the wall in a rather violent fashion? Who knows? All these answers we're going to... all these questions we're going to get answers to in just a moment. So do not go anywhere. We are going to be back in just a moment with Race 2.
Hideaway Fighters.
And welcome back to the circuit, ladies and gentlemen. It is a top 15 reverse grid, we've been told, so we'll wait for the carnage. Nathan Hughes off pole position. Wow, he will be absolutely stoked with that. Look at that livery, the Monster Energy. Moser, Fanatec, he's got a bit of everything there, a bit of Sid Chrome. We'll go through and look at some of these liveries because we've got a little bit of time, 3 minutes to go before we are kicking off for race 2 here. This is the feature race of the evening, 38 laps. Second is Mr. Garrick there for the AC karting entry. Shout out to Johnny Singleton if he's in the chat there. He is the team owner there for AC karting. Third, excuse me, that's Junior Ferguson there. Snoozy, beautiful livery as well. Down here in fourth position, that is Lachlan Grant for Mobile One Racing. Next to him, Old Man Ferguson Senior in the 144. Moose Racing there on the side. There's Dean Hanley back here as well in the 55. Behind him, Jason McFadden. Behind him, Andre Elliott there in the number 37. Sim Blacks have a nice showing here tonight, and probably my favourite of the liveries as well, the team liveries, all with the different colour schemes. Absolutely beautiful. Extreme Sim Motorsport TV chiming in, says, hey boys, how are we doing, lads? I am doing great. Burswood Parkland track that he is doing is getting ready for 26. It's good to know, mate. I'll tell you what, you can you can announce that to the world for wherever you want there. 45. This is Scott Cortum in the AK Racing entry. Daddy Cortum, they call him in the Discord. Make sure you DM him as well. He loves getting DMs from the general public. That is Harley Marshall there in the 77. Keep an eye on his strategy. He was one going for the alternate strategy last time around. Alex McEwen back here as well. So here come the guys that were at the pointy end of that last race. Matt Cotter in the 99. Beautiful livery there. Nick Mello, a race 1 winner. There's an empty gap behind him, but here's Curtis McManus in the number 51 Ned entry. Beautiful livery as well. That is a tried and true one. Everyone knows that one. Beautiful stuff down here in 79. That must be Clint Goff. We got Ezra Simons, I believe, or Dion Clerk in the 710. Another Sim Blacks entry there down in the number 22. That'd be Will Kirk. The captain there on the number plate. Fence Warmers is a... that's the Discord there. They run their own races during the week. You can find that in the Discord. We're not going to get a chance to go through them all, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Nick Skills watching from Canada. Welcome to the party, mate. What a time to be watching as well, because we're about to get started now for the feature race here tonight. Double points up for grabs. It's time to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Hughes has the front row. It is a start now for race 2. And look at the start there from Scotty Garrick. He's going to level up beside, that is level up beside Hughesy. But look at Ferguson now up the inside. How are they all going to come here into turn 1? Lockie Grant just bouncing off the curbs there, but they all just slip through. It looks like Harley Marshall and McFadden getting a little bit out of sorts there, but that is all good stuff. Andre Elliott up the inside of Dean Hanley as they come down towards turn 3. Elliott just outbreaking his teammate there, getting up the inside. Lockie Grant just in front of those, but Hanley now goes, thank you very much. I will have the inside line, and he slots into 6th position. Great stuff down here. It's all battling out. We got Pierce, we got Corden, we got Cotter. Geez, who else? McEwen and Miller all chiming in now. Wowee, we're going to just ride on board here with Scotty Corden, see what he can see. He's got Pierce right beside him. He's going to give him just enough room. And there goes Pierce up the inside on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, Scott Corden now just getting pushed out of the way by Matt Cotter, his teammate. Wowee, let's see what Cotter can do on the outside of Brandon Pierce. But Nick Mello chiming in on this little battle as well. We're right on board with him. He's got the 2 AK racing cars in front of him. That's Brandon Pierce on the outside in the Monster Energy livery Mustang as well. Oh, geez, that's... Wowee from Mello around the outside, looking up the inside at turn 10. Fantastic stuff. Wowee. Oh, that is a great start from all these guys involved. Here comes Harley Marshall now, looking up the inside of Andre Elliott. Little bit of door shoving and banging here on the first lap, but no tears of yet. Everyone pointing the correct way. Harley Marshall getting that job done up the inside. McFadden just looking maybe to try and take advantage of all this squabbling here in the front, the front half of this lap, the latter half of this lap. What am I talking about? It's all started to go to shit already. But Scott Garrick leads after the first lap. He's got Nathan Hughes just behind him by about 3/10 with the same gap back to Ferguson. They all come together nicely, but look at that. Hughesy just getting the better entry there to turn 1, but Scott Garrett getting the better exit. So these guys choosing to, I guess not choosing to, but having different strategies there on the way of driving style. But wowee, Scotty Garrett just missing the apex there at turn 3. It's going to invite Hughesy and Ferguson right up behind. Fergo will be absolutely loving the position he is in at the moment. Look at this. He's got Hughes, he's got Garrick in front of him, and I'll tell you what, just quietly, Ferguson probably thinks he is quicker than both of these guys, so he will really love his chances now. But I'll tell you what, he has to get a wriggle on and get around them too, because cutting through the field back here, it's Alex McEwen. He's got his hands full with Matt Cotter now, just darting up the inside here through the new section here at Albert Park. It's flat stick all the way around this big, long left-hander. Look at that. McEwen on the inside, Cotter around the outside. He's going to try and send it. OP81 style gets the job done. Kimi Antonelli, great stuff there. But we're not in the wet here today at Albert Park. This is all dry racing. It's a beautiful day here in the sim world. Wowee, that is Matt Cotter making his way up through the field. So he's got the better of his competitors actually at the moment from all the guys that started down the field. Matt Munro's a DNF already to start this race. We didn't see what happened there, but he will be absolutely spewing with that, as he was he's one of the quickest out there in the starting stanza of this early race. But as we saw, just got absolutely clobbered, and his bad luck went from bad to worse. Look at this gaggle of cars. We've got Hughesy side by side with Ferguson, who just has the. I think Hughesy might just be running a bit of a low downforce setup there. But wow, we look at Hughes, Grant and Cotter getting stuck in. That's Cotter just Grant giving Hanley. Whoa, a bit of a pit maneuver there. Both of those guys coming together. Hanley spinning around like a dreidel at the moment. He's got to get on the brakes. No, that is crazy stuff. Get on the brakes there, mate. You've got cars coming around you. Who is that parked on the track? That's McFadden as well. This has gone from bad to worse for both of those guys. McFadden just flick spinning it around. He will get back on the circuit, but he is down absolutely dead last for now. That is disaster for him. Oh boy, up the field, it's all happening again. We've got Pierce just applying the blowtorch there to Elliott. Wowee, these guys going hammer and tong and just catching up here.
What happened, Mr. Drifter?
Catching up here with the chat. I've got one eye on it. Thank you, Fabian Fitness. Bang goes bang with the $15 super chat. That is super fantastic. He says, keep up the good... keep it up, Chris. I'm going to see how I go. We got 35 laps to go. I think my voice cords might just pack it in before we get to there. But Junior Ferguson has got his hands full of Matt Cotter now. Matt Cotter looking up the inside. Under brakes. Very nicely done. Ferguson just sending a little bit of smoke out the back of his. That's going to heat up his tyres and maybe leave him vulnerable to Mr. Hughesy here. He's looking pretty good there in 6th position. But look at that gaggle of cars coming up behind. This is unreal. We've got Elliott here on screen, but here's the battle on track. Nick Mello and Scott Courtham side by side. Courtham just getting the better of it as we speak. This is where do you look? Where do you look, ladies and gentlemen? There is battles all up and down the field currently. Whew, take a breath, Chris Munro. I'll tell you what, we're going to have a few bits of dead air tonight because I can't talk for 2 hours straight. Can't be done. But let's see what Elliott can do because he is only 2/10 now behind Alex McEwen. As you can see, all those cars up your head, just nose to tail. They're not going to give it easy for Mr. McEwen, and he knows it. He knows there's a long way to go in this race. It seems that actually let's do a tyre check. Seems like a few of these guys going on the soft option here to start with. Certainly Garrick and Ferguson on the soft tyre. Harley on the soft as well. We're going to go through the field here. Cotter, soft. Everyone starting on the soft so far, except Alex McEwen. He's the only one in the top 8 so far on the hard tyre. Only one in the top 10 on the hard tyre. So there's the story of the race so far, ladies and gents. How far can McEwen go on this hard tyre, and can he stave off the attacks of some of these guys coming behind with the more sticky rubber attached to their rims? Here's Brandon Pierce now, just sending it from a mile back. Whoa. Close stuff indeed, but gets the job, gets it pulled up. No tears, no harm, no foul. Everyone is carrying on. Scott Garrick still leads. He's got Ferguson behind him by 7/10. Marshall up to 3rd. Closest battle on track is right here. We've got Elliott, McEwen, Pierce. McEwen just being a little bit of a cork in the bottle on the harder compound, should I say. Will he put up a fight here? This will be interesting to see what he does when faced with an attack. I think he just sticks to the racing line and maybe tries to minimise time lost. I think that's probably his best option. He doesn't want to get stuck in any battles here in the early part of this race. Because he is on those hard tyres, he wants to go long. That's his strategy. He wants to get into clear air now. He doesn't want to be tied up in any of this battling. Because that's only going to slow him down for when he comes back out for his 2nd stint. Or 3rd stint, even on the softs, because I assume he'll be coming out at some point on the softs. But the battle is on for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Ferguson all over the back of Scotty Garrick as Garrick just gives it a little bit of a wiggle there through this fast section too. Side by side, 2 Mustangs at the front, Ford versus Ford. And Harley Marshall in the next car down. That is a Camaro. Oh, that's good. Good driving there. Good awareness there from Ferguson. But look at the ground that Harley Marshall's made up on the pair of these guys now. Marshall we saw with great pace in the first race here this evening. Oh, Ferguson just getting all crossed up, and that will be the position lost for him. Nice overtaking opportunity there for Marshall, and Cotter just cleaning up the scraps, so to speak. A few crumbs falling off the table, and like a good Labrador, just licks them up and says thank you very much. So he will go up into third position. Wowee, Cotter is on a charge. The guys that he was racing around in the first race are back here. Alex McEwen in 11th. He's got Scott Courtham side by side. Ooh, a little bit of a touch there. A little bit of a Van Gisbergen move. The old slow him down at the start of the straight and try and take advantage of that. Bump and run, perhaps. I shouldn't say that. He's one of the cleanest drivers in this server, ladies and gents. Don't you be mistaken. And he is fast too. But these are the two Project 4 cars now on track together. Harley Marshall's come a gutser. What's happened here? He has gone off. Cotter's up into second. No sign of a redress, so it must have been just all on his own. Or whoever it is just leaving that up to the stewards. Junior Ferguson, though, looking at Harley Marshall. A little bit of a tap through turn 6. Checked him up, but no harm, no foul. These guys are just going to keep playing on, and fair enough. Husing's just behind him too. You can see the view out of his car. So he's got a little bit of a gap to make up 5/10. It's not much, but it looks a lot longer on the track. Lockie Grant now for Mobile One Racing, right up behind Andre Elliott. Only a 10th in it, mind you. Let's get a bit of engine noise. Actually, you should be able to hear that anyway. I'm going to turn myself up just a little bit. But Lockie Grant now looking into turn 11. Oh, getting right up behind the doctor there, giving him the medicine packs. He's got the medicine they've got the medicine cabinet open, has the doc, and all the defensive efforts coming out here at the moment. As you can see, Junior Ferguson right up behind Harley Marshall again. These guys, I'll tell you what, Jack Ferguson is doing fantastically tonight. Nick Mello's had a bit of a gutser here. He's coming side by side with Luke Newing. Oh, what's happened there? Newing's just had too much throttle there and sent himself straight into the wall. Maybe a little bit of damage, perhaps. Doesn't look too bad. It looks like that steering wheel is facing the right direction. Will Kirk now having a little dip, but Luke Newing had the better side of the track. Looks like a battle now for the lead. Scott Garrett doing his best to hold on, but geez, Matt Cotter has been on fire tonight with the overtakes. And here is another one to add to the collection. He takes the race lead, ladies and gents, on lap 7. So keep that in the diary. We'll see where everyone shakes out once the pit stops start to happen. We saw last race. I think it was around the lap 10 mark where the soft runners started to feel the pinch and come into the pits. So we might see that again here, ladies and gents. We might see these guys maybe just hold on for another couple of laps before they decide to make the first pit stop. Wowee, Ferguson, Elliott, nose to tail. Hughes chiming in, but Harley Marshall, wowee, he has got his hands full. Here goes Jack Ferguson now. Pulls out of the slipstream, looking for his brake marker into turn 11. Bit of smoke coming out, but a little bit of door rubbing as well. That is all good in my book. And there goes Ferguson up to 4th position. So we've got Fergo and Fergo, 3rd and 4th. PSO now stuck in an absolute battle of his life here. Scott Courtham heading the way. McEwen now just having a little look up the inside. Pierce getting involved. Nick Mello we're going to ride on board with because he has the front row seats here to this battle. Look at Pearso getting a nice little late exit there. Very good way to sort of slingshot your way down this main straight. As we've seen in the past, turn 1 is a pretty good spot to get some overtaking done. None of these guys opt for that option this time, but Alex McEwen, though, wowee, he is right up behind Scott Courtham. He might even have a little dip up here into turn 3. It's an interesting little turn here because you might get someone going defensive there on the inside, and we've seen in the past that you can hang it fat around the outside there at turn 3, and if you can stay door to door, you will have the inside run for turn 4 and pretty much have that position because the radius there at turn 4 is quite tight, and it's really hard to hang on around the outside of that particular turn. So sort of counterintuitive when it comes to defensive stuff. You probably just want to stay on the racing line into turn 3 because then you can hang it fat around the outside and have that inside line for turn 4. But now the race is on here. McEwen has the inside run through this fast little left-hander. Fast, long left-hander, should I say. Scott Carrick doing his best, looking in the mirror and watching these two guys fight like hell. Scott caught him just getting a little bit sideways there over the exit curbing. McEwen might just take advantage of this. Look at that. He pulls up alongside. Does have an overlap now going into turn 11. McEwen on the brakes. Whoa, just a little bit of door rubbing, but very respectful racing here. The 43 and the 45 going door to door through turn 12. Whoa, it's still side by side. And back there, they're getting stuck in as well. That's Daniel Cicluna, Pierce, and Newing all having a good old dip. Nick Mello just sitting back watching this battle take place, thinking, "Oh, should I get involved or should I just follow my teammate?" I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to stick to the slipstream of his little bit of bump drafting as well. Beautiful team play, but Scott Cordham's having none of it. He's going to go around the outside into turn 1, just has the overlap and holds onto that position somehow. But Nick Mello has a great run now. We're going to ride on board with him and see if he can find a way through. Breaking down into turn 3, and McEwen now just has the inside run, but Scott Cordham, just has to yield almost. Very tight racing from the three of them. Unbelievable stuff. Nick Mello now just couldn't make his way past Scott Cordham, and now he has that Camaro to deal with in front while he watches his teammate just bugger off down the road, because I think McEwen certainly has the pace, but in these cars you probably need about an 8/10 advantage per lap to be able to get a really clean overtake. So you really got to work hard for your overtakes around here. Oh God, a little bit of server lag there, but no harm, no foul. See, these guys are side by side, but Nick Mello has the better of the running. Scott Cordham very confident under brakes, but just a little bit, maybe 5 metres too late on that one. There goes the Project 4 boys, just climbing their way up the order. Here's a battle now. Ferguson and Hanley, and Elliott. If I can get a camera angle to show us the action, that'd be nice. But Ferguson just having to pull out of that, and Elliott goes on his way, just sitting in 3rd position, loving life. And as if you wouldn't, it's all happening here on circuit. This is the top 26 drivers in the V8 category. And that is the top 26 in the country and New Zealand. We've got a couple of cars into the pits now that look like Lockie Grant and Nathan Hughes. So that is lap 10. The first of the soft runners coming in now to get those tyres serviced. And we'll see what they come out on once they come out of the pits. We're going to check on Curtis Manis back here, as I try to get some info on the tyre situation, but for some reason I cannot adjust that. So that'll come up later on, ladies and gentlemen. Just got to look down here on the little timing board in the middle, and you've got the S or a H next to their name, and that will tell you what kind of tyres they are wearing at the moment. Oh, there we go. Let's show tyres. Hey, all right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see now on the timing tower, top 4 are all on the soft tyre, then followed by McEwen, Mello, and Will Kirk all on the hards, and then you've got Cordham all the way down to Pierce on the softs, and then it's a mixture of softs and hards, and down the back are mostly hards. So these guys probably looking to go long on the hard tyre. The first one along is Alex McEwen. So we might see these guys up the front, Cotter, Ferguson, Elliott, and the other Ferguson, maybe just starting to think about when they might come in for a pit stop. And what I always used to do is be very conscious of your opposition and their lap time. So pick someone that you know how much quicker you are than them, or slower, if you're in that unfortunate situation. And keep an eye on their lap time. Once you're on the once their lap time starts to cross over with yours, then it's time to pit. But there goes Ferguson off into the pit lane now. That's lap 11. I think you're going to just see a stream of them coming in, because now they are, well, those soft tyres are well and truly stuffed, ladies and gents. Matt Cotter takes over the lead of the race here. We've got Junior Ferguson sitting in second, but he will have to come into the pit soon. I imagine this lap will be it for him, but he's going around once more. But down here, oh, there's everyone now is peeling into the pits. We've got Marshall coming out on a set of hards. We've got Ferguson, Marshall, Jesse Marshall, should I say. The brothers Marshall there of MBR Racing. We've got the team boss in the chat. That is Ronald Marshall. Handing out the advice there over the radios to these drivers. And they are looking good this year. They had an absolute nightmare last year, did Marshall Brothers Racing. They deserve better, and they've come out to a good start as well. Harley Marshall doing good things there in the first race. Look at these cars down the back here. Nathan Hughes all over the back of Alan Nielsen there in the Pertec livery Mustang. We heard on the comms there that his brother Ryan Nielsen took out the win in Super 2, or the Tier 2, should we say. There goes Nielsen just having a bit of a gutser there on the exit, and leaves himself vulnerable to Hughesy, who will just sail around the outside. Sail easy as you like. That's good stuff, ladies and gents. Scott Garrick now on the back of Andrew Ferguson, just after that little overtake, but getting full advantage of the suck. Let's ride on board and see if he can get that done. That is a great exit there too. I love the angle of how he just turned that car, squirted it with the throttle, and an absolutely beautiful exit. Scotty Garrick has the best run here now into turn 11, making the job happen, but Cicluna, just the poor bastard's got nowhere to go. We'll ride on board with him, because he was coming at a rate of knots, but had to just get on the anchors because there's nowhere to go, sadly. So he'll just have to sit there in 15th for the time being. So we see Fergo getting all sorts of uncomfortableness across the curbing there, maybe taking a little bit too much liberty in that respect. Scott Cordham now into the pits. He is actually just coming out of the pits on a set of hards. And they last, we saw the first race of 19 laps, and all the runners on the hard seem to be well into control towards the end of the race. So the hard tyre certainly has the longevity over the soft. Whether they can make it all the way to the end, that is another 26 laps. It's a long way to go on a set of hards. We might even see some splashing and dashing towards the end. But look at Ferguson now up the inside of Cortum. Whoa, gets the job done. Thank you very much. Great racing there, and Cicluna gets the job done on Hughesy as well. Great racing there from everyone in this grid. It's been an absolute masterclass. But look at this, Benny Asplin now in the Coca-Cola livery. Can't miss it. He's got Piercy around the outside. This could be 3 wide. Who's that? McFadden chiming in. Oh, Benny Asplin just getting on the anchors. Maybe a little bit too late. Oh, clattering across the curbs is Pearso. There's, that was almost a track cut there. It's not going to do him well. And Asplin goes, thank you very much. I'll take that mistake with 2 hands, and I'll bugger off another 3/10 down. But here comes McFadden. Whoa, having a look at Pierce. Pierce seems to be a little bit rattled here. Both of those guys now pulling into the pits. He wasn't rattled. He was just on absolutely stuffed tyres. So they're all going to come out. It looks like nearly everyone's going to be on the hards now once they come in, once they get back out on the track and going. And would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Here is P1 and P2. It's Project 4. McEwen has the advantage now over Nick Mello, the race 1 winner. Certainly plenty of pace in both of these cars. It's a Mustang and a and the other one. It's not a Holden anymore. General Motors. Yeah. Yeah. Camaros, they look pretty sick though, have to admit. Look at that. Beautiful looking car. Props to AK Racing, who designed this this mod in-house. Brandon Pierce was the man who was at the helm creating these vehicles. Absolutely beautiful stuff, and proving to be popular here in the racing world. And why not? They're hard to drive. Got to have your wits about you. These guys out here make it look so easy, and there are guys in the chat who can attest to this. They've had a little go on these, and it's very hard to get used to how these things handle. They are, well, clearly one of the hardest cars to drive in real life as well. You hear the supercar driver saying that if you can get around a lap in one of these things, you can drive absolutely anything, and that sentiment carries across into the sim world as well. These are not easy cars to drive, and these guys just make it look so easy. Speaking of making it look easy, here's a couple of guys going side by side. A little bit of hip and shoulder there from Scicluna as he gets back onto the circuit, but Coldham just leaving it nice up the inside there. Has a very good exit, but Scicluna probably just going to send it up the inside now on the second last turn, running Coldham right out towards the curbing, and Scicluna will have the advantage of being on the, I guess, the slingshot side of the road there, where he can just have a little bit more momentum and a little bit better exit down the straight. As you can see, side by side at the moment, or a little bit of an overlap, but it's very close. Scicluna's just going to stay on the racing line, but Coldham, as we've seen, that was close. We've seen him so confident on the brakes. He has done the work in the off season, and he's certainly got that car set up and really working for him at the moment. But Scicluna now getting that job done up into turn 3. It's not over yet though. Look at McFadden chiming in. Sorry, Will Kirk chiming in there in the number 22. It's all happening. We're going to ride on board with Andre Elliott because he's got the front row ticket to this little three-way battle. A little bit sideways there from the captain as well. These guys separated by an absolute bee's dick at the moment. There's battles just breaking out all over this field. We'll go up and check out Harley Marshall because he's got Curtis McManus just in front of him now. They are side by side in the Camaros. Here goes Marshall, and just scoots up the inside in the 77. Really nice. Dots are for Ron. It's all happening here in the chat. I love to see it. A little bit of banter goes a hell of a long way. But Kirk and Scotty Coldham now battling. Looks like Kirk's got the better of it at the moment. But Andre Elliott just sitting off him here, just taking notes, giving him a little bit of a hurry up too through the second to the last turn. You can see Coldham just missing the apex a little bit there, but I don't think Elliott is going to have the pace down the front straight to make any headway there for an overtake. At least not yet. So we'll come back to them later because Ferguson is now on the back of Scotty Garrick here. Mustang v Mustang. Andrew Ferguson has come out firing here tonight. Oh no! As I say it, he's just turned old Scotty Garrick. I don't know about that. I think Scotty, he was very slow through the mid part of that corner, but Ferguson doing the gentlemanly thing, and that's what we do here at AK Racing, ladies and gentlemen. When you're in doubt, and whether you have punted the guy in front of you or not, it's always a good practice to just redress that position. Ferguson probably thinking about it now. It's he may as well do it now. He did hole up and wait for him in the long run. But Daniel Scicluna now in the number 28 V8 Mustang. Look at him around the outside there, Will Kirk. This could get spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Going through turn 9 and 10 now, very fast. Very hard to do in these cars because they are known for a little bit of understeer. So you really got your hands full, and you can only take the turn as fast as your car will let you. But look at this. This is a fantastic showing here. Benny Asplin on debut here in the V8 Supercars here. He's made it into the main grid. And he goes 16 laps on a set of hard, so he will probably think, he's probably thinking now he could probably get another 18 laps out of, 18, no, it's more like 20 something. 22 laps out of another set of hards, because I don't know if you want to be pitting twice here in this race now, just the way it goes. But look at these two side by side. Elliott and Courtum. Courtum on the inside, Elliott on the outside. Just picking the brake markers, and Elliott just looking to squeeze Scott Courtum. Oh no, they've come together, but Courtum gets out of the throttle, does the right thing, and Hughes just goes up the inside and says, gee whiz, that was easy. Thank you, boys, for that one. They're going to continue battling, as well as these two up front, Junior Ferguson and Curtis Egg-Manis. I think both of these guys started on the hard tyres, so they'll probably be thinking about a pit stop sooner or later, but I'm probably thinking the strategy might have been for these guys to go long and maybe get to lap 30 if they could, or 28, somewhere around that mark where they can come out and put a set of softs on and really go hell for leather and just put qualifying lap in after qualifying lap to the end. So varying strategies available, and since it's the first race of the season, it's a bit of an unknown out here in the Gen 3 Supercars. We don't know how these tyres are going to react in these close racing situations where you're getting that hot air out of the back of the car in front, and it really just chews up the front end. But look at this from Jason McFadden, certainly not doing anything to hamper his front end, because he goes straight up the inside there of Jesse Marshall. Ron won't be too happy with it, but Jesse keeping it clean and mean and trying to hang it fat around the outside. But McFadden just has the pace advantage there with a nice little slide on exit to boot. Good stuff there from the Simbax guys. They're going great guns today. Everywhere I look, it's yellow and black on this circuit. Here's another one. Scott Courtum again. He's got his handful with Mr. Elliott. We're right on board with Andre. Actually, we'll go for a lap on board and just take notes, ladies and gents, and see how these guys battle it out. Scott Courtum faking to go to the inside now, but Elliott really nicely done under brakes. He'll just go straight through, maybe crossing the yellow line there, taking liberty for the track limits. As I said earlier, you only get what, 5 track cuts before you are going through the pit lane for a drive-through penalty. So these guys have got one eye, keeping one eye on that little counter they have. These two side by side. Klink off on the outside. Just Pearso just going underneath there. Easy as you like. Not really too much of a fight. Put up by Goff. He probably knows that Pearso just maybe not in his race tonight. Goff certainly has the pace. He's made his way onto the main grid here for the Gen 3 Supercars, and to do that in itself is a no easy feat. Top 26 drivers in the country. Fabian says we need to break up McEwen and Mello. Well, what we need is a jet black. What sort of car would Fabian Fitness? I think he's a Mustang guy. Just a jet black Mustang to maybe throw a few cats amongst the pigeons there, with a big Fitness on the side. Well, that might be seen later on in the season. But you got to bug him for it. You got to get him out there. These two still battling side by side. Courtum has the advantage so far. Slides it up the inside, but Elliott, he's not going to let him go. That's for sure, because these guys have been battling like this for the last however many laps. Oh, look at Elliott thinking, oh yeah, I might go around the outside here. Probably not the best idea, but gets the nice exit out of the final turn. A little bit squirrely, actually, as I say it. So that gives Courtum just a little bit of breathing room, and he'll take that with both hands. All you need just is a little bit of room just to I guess, drop the suckage from behind. And once you can do that, you can really just start to focus on your own race. I'll tell you what, it's very distracting having a car behind you and putting the pressure on. I wouldn't know much about it, but I'm sure it's an uncomfortable situation to be in. Oh boy. The race lead now. Somebody get me out of here. So Nick Mello just making up a little bit of ground there on his teammate. But they'll be under orders in the team chat. Don't do anything stupid. If we can just get these two cars to the end, that's a massive points haul for that team to start the round and start the championship. So, great showing by Project 4. They can't be split up. We just need some other team to take the fight to them. I thought Mobile 1 might have been the one, but poor old Matt Munro got himself in all sorts of trouble in that first race. And I don't know what happened to him in the second race, but he is gone. He's parked it in the garage, as well as Luke Newing. So 2 casualties so far. Actually, 3 casualties so far in this race. I don't know who the last one is, but we did start with 26. Here goes Andre Elliott now. Wow, look at that. It's just diving from way back, maybe too far back. That's an absolute murder there. He's going to have to hold up and wait for Scott Cordham to get back out on the track, and he does. Oh, geez, we've got the gentleman out here tonight. What great racing. What great respect shown between everyone. Where do you get that on a Sunday night in any sort of sim racing land or league? Gee whiz, this is just great stuff and a testament to AK Racing and how they run the show here. Bloody beautiful stuff. If you're ever in doubt and want to get involved in the racing here at AK Racing, you'll see in the description below there is a link to their Discord, so you can sign up, get your name down for a bit of racing. As we see Kirk just going a little bit deep there in the up and under from Grant. Very nice awareness there from him. Saw him coming and knew he was going to go deep and just cuts back underneath. Absolutely textbook stuff there. Here we go now, but he's just got to consolidate it now. But it seems once these guys do the overtake thing, they're vulnerable again because of the slipstream, and these guys also evenly matched out there on pace. So just one little mistake, and you'll find that you'll be going backwards at a rate of knots. Here's a guy that's going forwards, however. That is Daniel Cicluna. He's on a set of hard tyres, and wowee, Curtis McManus just coming across to get onto the racing line. Very cheeky, but there was just enough room for him to get that done before they all ended up in the wall. But Cicluna now with a great exit through 10, and he'll just slide through. He might even have this job done before they get to the braking zone here in turn 11. He does. He gets back onto the racing line and on his merry way up into the top 10. Great showing there from the number 28, Daniel Cicluna. As it stands, we've got Matt Cotter in the lead. It seems the Project 4 boys have come in for a pit stop. They're back out on a set of softs too. And I'll tell you what, not far off. It's only 15 seconds between them and Harley Marshall up there on the hard. So last time around, Harley Marshall was a 153.1. So write that down, ladies and gents, because we're going to see what these guys now can do on a set of soft tyres. I expect them to be well into the 51, so maybe, 2, maybe 3 seconds quicker than these guys out in front. But that pace only lasts maybe 5 laps before they start to drop off themselves. So you really got to make hay while the sun shines on those soft tyres. But they're not going to make it 18 laps on a set of softs. So you might see the Project 4 boys coming in for another stint on the softs, probably in about 9 laps' time. Because I just don't know if they're going to go 18 laps on a set of softs. That's just, that's unbelievable. If they can get that job done, hats off to them, to be fair. We didn't see anyone go that long in the first race. Oh, excuse me. But let's ride on board with McEwen. But it looks like he's right up behind Harley Marshall already, actually. What has happened here? Marshall off the track? No. Marshall just going slowly, but McEwen on the way through. It was a 15-second gap to the lead. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We get our info here right eventually. It's SimSational TV. Garrick and McFadden now having a little battle now through the fast section at the back. McFadden on the inside run, but Garrick going to stick it fat around the outside through the chicane. That seems to be a pretty popular passing move here tonight, ladies and gents. Got to have balls the size of bloody watermelons to do it. As we saw a couple of the drivers doing that in the wet in the F1. Like, that is just absolutely mad. But Garrick, oh no, Garrick's off the track. He's coming back on, a little bit unsafe there, but taps McFadden on the way through. Keeps it straight. So he'll just keep going and have that position done. So that's good driving there from the pair of them. Garrick probably want to have that have that turn done over again. Have a second shot at that. As you can see on your track map there on the right-hand side of your screens, ladies and gentlemen, a few little battle packs starting to form, but a little lull in proceedings. So this is the perfect time now to stick on board with, as we can see, what was the last time around on Harley Marshall? Yeah, he's doing 153s on the hards. Alex McEwen 150. So what's that? 3 seconds quicker on the softs in this stage of the race. The Project 4 boys really turning the screws, but Harley Marshall now getting passed as well by Nick Mello. He'll be probably due to come in for a pit stop. These guys, I think, I know Harley started on the hards. So he'll be thinking about maybe a pit stop soon as well. Scott Cordham, however, on the back of Nathan Hughes. He's been bragging all the last few weeks, actually, in the admin chat, saying how he's got these guys on absolute brown bread. I thought it was a little bit ambitious since he's been out of the game for a few years. I think, the last time we saw Scott Cordham was maybe season 7 of the V8 Supercars. That's a guess. It's a long time ago. It's been a couple of years, but the man, the myth, the legend is back. And he's doing well, considering the time out of the seat. Hughesy, though, he's going to try his best to break the heart of Scott Cordham and send him back to the single-player realm. All these guys probably want to do the same, because when he is firing on all cylinders, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Cordham is one of the guys to beat in this server. So we'll see him come good over the time being. But Will Kirk now, he's just got a few tenths up the road. He's got Lockie Grant there, who goes very wide at turn 3. So that invites the captain up behind him. Now, look at that. Poor old Grant is just struggling a little bit, looks like, on those tyres. And he's going to get overtaken here in turn 5. Beautiful stuff. And look at that. Cluna's going to try and take advantage as well. He's up the inside of Grant. Beautiful move there into 6. That is great racing there. Poor old Lockie Grant's just maybe having a bit of a moment there on these tyres. Might be time for him to come in and maybe consolidate his losses. But these two now battling it out. Cluna, Will Kirk on the inside, Cluna on the outside in the Mustang. This is good stuff to see here, ladies and gents. Grant now getting sucked back into this battle. But Cluna gets the job done into this fast chicane, and he will just look to bugger off down the street. Bit of a slide. Oh, a bit of a evasive action there from Will Kirk as well. And now here comes Grant. Look at these two side by side now going down into the braking zone. Grant's got the advantage and got the position already before we get to the braking zone. Beautiful stuff, but a big slide on exit. That will invite Kirky back into it. Wowee. These guys not letting go of each other. Oh, another battle now forming down the back. Amber Elliott just getting up the inside of Nathan Hughes. Oh, excuse me, ladies and gents. Just having a little drink. Hughesy just wants to put the pressure on here, but Elliott is doing all he can, doing the best work he can, but Will Kirk is pulling it into the pits as well. Matt Cotter leads this race by 10.5 seconds. 15 laps to go, ladies and gents. We might be coming down to the last round of pit stops. I'm tipping around the lap 28 mark. We'll see. I think everyone rounded out. And the guys near the front on the hards probably want to come in on a set of softs. So we'll see how long Cotter's been out there for ages on that set of hards. He's surely due for a pity soon. Or he's going to just go to the end like an absolute madman. But you can see Alex McEwen and Nick Mello making up that ground very rapidly. A 49.8 last time around for Alex McEwen and a 51.9 for Cotter. So 2 seconds quicker a lap. It's only going to take 5 laps for Project 4 to catch up to Matt Cotter. So I think it's probably too early for him to pull the trigger on a set of softs now. So he just has to hit his marks. Try to minimise the loss here, because it will start to level out. The softs that are on McEwen and Mello's car are going to wear and they will just start to slow down a little bit. Not by much because they're absolute aliens, but they will slow down a little bit, and that will give Cotto just a little bit of breathing room. But I'll tell you what, he probably needs to come in soon enough, because if he does go to the end, he's going to get caught, right? If he comes into the pits, he's going to lose 2 or 3 positions. He'll probably come out around where Harley Marshall is. But he will have the aid of a brand new set of softs to the end. So can he make up that ground? So it'll be like a 10-second gap to him and the Project 4 boys when he comes out on a set of softs. So, I don't know. Strategic thoughts here. It's hard to do in the sim racing land. Some of these teams don't have engineers as well. So some of these drivers out there doing the sums, doing the strategy work in their head while they're driving. It's no easy feat, ladies and gents. It's no easy feat at all. Some of these teams do have some engineers behind the scenes calling the shots. Does take a load off, but not everyone's as lucky to have blokes on the payroll like some of these guys out there. So professional sim racers aside, and mixed with some amateurs as well. So it's a good showing. But here we go. Speaking of good showing, a couple of more yellow and black cars coming up beside each other. Here's Will Kirk just out braking Jesse Marshall here into turn 3. Very nicely done, and not much Marshall can do about that. Just waves the white flag and says, through you go, son. I'll do my best to tack onto the back of you, and that'll hopefully drag me on. But look at the gap now that Kirk's put on. He's on a charge, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping one eye on the leader, because the battle's on now. Ferguson and Nathan Hughes right on board with Fergo. As they dip it through this fast left, right chicane. As you can see, very hard to get on the throttle and stop those rear wheels from lighting up. That is one of the skills that these drivers are just so good at, is just keeping those tyres in that peak grip department where they're just on the edge of slipping it. Oh, here goes Fergo, having a little dip into turn 12. That's not a conventional overtaking spot, you see. But Ferguson now just trying to hang a fat around the outside, but he's going to be vulnerable now because Pierce is chiming in. Hughes is going to go into the pits, and that just sort of balks Fergo. And Pierce is probably going to try and drive around the outside. Ferguson knew it was happening and just sort of angled his car towards the outside. Great awareness from him. Pierce saw him coming and got out of it before they both ended up in the wall. Wowee, Ferguson here is racing for sheep stations. He doesn't want to lose any more positions here. He's got about a 2.5 second gap to make up to the cars in front. So on a charge here is Ferguson late in this race. The gap now up in front. Down to 6.5 seconds, 13 laps to go. I'd be pitting now if I was Cotter. That gives you enough time to get those softs on and maybe launch one last final attack at these guys out the front. But if I know Matt Cotter, he's going to take those hards probably to the very end, which is great to see, honestly. He'll be hanging onto that car like, like a kid on an Echo ride, dead set. He goes around one more time. That is lap 25 done in the bank, or lap 24 done in the bank. Just catching up on the chat there. Funny stuff, boys. Keep up the good work. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. We appreciate all the clicks that go on to SimSational here, and we love bringing you the action. There's bloody plenty of it, that's for sure. These Gen 3s have served up an absolute cracking show here tonight. I'm so spewing, I missed out on the Super 2s, or the Tier 2s is what we're calling them, earlier on in the evening, but life got in the way. Tell you what, next time around, next fortnight, we will be back, myself and Zach, calling all the action from start to finish. So look forward to that. Get your set that into your calendar. Matt Cotter now just losing time. Oh, I just don't know if he can hang on for long enough. Matt McEwen just making up that time very quickly. As you can see on your timing tower, it's 5.6 seconds, the gap. It's going to become visual soon once they get onto the straights. And that's when we're going to start to see the business end of proceedings here tonight. Let's go and see how Pearso's going down here in 10th position. Great show by all these guys tonight. minimal contact, minimal carnage as well. Super respectful racing. Super respectful racing. Nah, we appreciate it, Fitness. Don't you worry about that. You are the man in our eyes. Just need you out there on track a bit more. Secluna now up behind Jason McFadden. Secluna's been on fire tonight. Despite him being down in 12, it's been a good showing. As I said, this field is so competitive. The 12th is pretty good, to be honest. You're not going to win all of these. Matt Cotter's out there and he's taking the fight to Project 4. But speaking of fighting, here goes Secluna up the inside. Oh, a bit deep there onto the grass. Oh, that might be a track cut as well. Now here comes Kirk because he just watched him go straight off into the bunda. Oh, sorry, McFadden. These yellow and black cars are doing me in. Here goes McFadden looking for the outside line. Maybe a little switchback there on Secluna. Secluna himself, very hard man to get past. Oh, these two guys swapping positions here. Pierce and Andrew Ferguson getting up the inside there on the second last turn. Pierce, very familiar with these cars. As we said, this is the guy behind the scenes that built all these. Learned how to use Blender. Did this up, and what an absolute champion. It's turned into a raging success. Down the back here, we've got Benny Asplin and Curtis McManus getting stuck into each other. Looks like Benny Asplin just having the better of it now. Geez, that's a nice livery. Love to see it. A lot of these guys have opted for the custom option here in the livery department. And it's great to see the artistic expression of all our drivers out there on track. Jesse Marshall pulling it into the pits now. That'll be him coming out on a set of softs to attack the final stint of this race, and I think he'll be the first. He is the first one to blink. You'll see them all start to come in now. These guys that may not think they have enough tread on those tyres to make it to the end. Poor old Cotters, I think just he needs to come in now. He's around the outside. Is he going to go in? Nah. He might have just have this race fall through his cracks. Fall through his fingers there, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's visual. You can see McEwen behind him in the distance. If Cotter pits now, he's going to come out behind Nick Mello, and it might just not be enough time to get that car back up behind him. This is going to be tight, but I think McEwen is just making ground like it's nothing. His last time around was a 151. Let's see what Cotter's was 152. So 1.4 seconds, the difference there. So the soft's just starting to come undone a little bit for McEwen, but still definitely more pace in that car than the Camaro out in front of Matt Cotter. It's going to be interesting once we get a bit closer down. But Harley Marshall and Junior Ferguson now both into the pits. We'll see where Marshall comes out. I think he might not even lose a position here, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Cordham, actually. He will overtake him. So Marshall losing a couple of positions there, but really not that bad because he's going to come out on a brand new set of softs and will be charging through the field late. He's got 10 laps to make that up. So watch all these guys now on an absolute charge. Oh no, Ferguson's outbraked himself into turn one. Let Marshall straight through. So that's not ideal for Fergo, but that's actually, we've got to give him a rap because he's up there in the top 10. Junior Ferguson, we see him out there in the Wednesday Cup as well. Oh, what's going on here? We're going slowly, just outbraked himself a little bit on the cold tyres. But here comes Secluna. He's on a set of warmed up old hard, so he's ready to rip and rumble here with these guys right on the back of Ferguson, who is doing an absolute cracking job here tonight. So he's rip-roaring and ready to go, but those tyres still a little bit cold, as you can see on the exits, and entries just labouring through these heavy Gen 3 V8 supercars. More understeer than a shopping trolley, that's for sure. But all the setup options available to all of these guys, so different philosophies as well. Here comes Matt Cotter into the pits. Followed by McEwen and Mello. That's incredible. I thought those guys would have come out again, but now it's an even playing field. Matt Cotter, we see, getting out of the box first, and this is just going to be an old-fashioned race to the line now. Matt Cotter leads this race, and the complexion has changed completely. He's the man now in command. Who's going to run him down? We've got McEwen, who had an absolutely cracking pit stop. He is only 2.5 seconds behind the lead. Now he's got his teammate only 3.7 seconds behind him. Well, it's all going to come to the very end, but I tell you what, Connor's the one to beat here tonight. What a showing from him. Whatever happens to these three guys on top tonight, it's been an absolute cracking show from all three of them. One eye on that. Let's look down the order. We'll come back to these guys when we get closer to the finish, because Nathan Hughes up behind Lockie Grant, battling it out for the mid-pack here. 12th and 13th position, respectively. I like the green netting there inside Hughesy's car as well. Nice and themed livery all the way through. A little bit of oversteer, a little bit of a correction there from Hughes. He's a drifter in real life, Mr. Drifter. He loves getting them sideways. It's probably not the fastest way around the track in most parts, but certainly the most stylish. Look at that. That's an apex for you. He goes, sorry, Grant, this is how you do it. You can see the mid-corner grip he's got currently. Marshall and Ferguson trading places up the order as well. We'll see what happened with those two guys. Here comes Junior Fergo on his old man. Look at that. Andrew Ferguson going slowly down this main straight. Must have had a shocker through that right-hander where they're right on the adhesion grip level. Around that fast right-hander, as you get through 6 and 7, it is, depending on how much rear wing you've got on your car, a very, very hard to handle V8 supercar. Let's ride on board with Ferguson now as he dives up the inside of Harley Marshall, getting very sideways as well. Maybe a little bit of contact, definitely contact there as they come clattering off the curbs. But here goes Junior up into P6. Harley Marshall gonna try and maybe send it back down the inside here on the second to last turn. He does contact, but they keep it straight. Ferguson has the advantage now, and he will consolidate that overtake. Great racing from the pair of them, but I don't think it's over. We'll ride on board with Marshall and see if he can make up any ground down the straight. Into turn 1, and it looks like Ferguson still has the advantage, but Harley Marshall definitely plenty of pace, and a little mistake there from Ferguson. That's going to bring Harley Marshall right up in the inside. And as I said before, this is the place to do the overtaking around the outside of turn 3. Because then you slingshot your way up to the inside of turn 4, and that will be the position done there for Harley Marshall. There's not much Ferguson can do. Next time around, Fergo, stay on the racing line. That is the defensive line through turn 3. You heard it here from the Super Coach. But these guys battling out for cheap stations. One eye on the... no red wines tonight. I'm on the apple juice, Fabian, just to keep the throat dry. I did have a couple of pints earlier on whilst I was at work. But don't tell the boss. Woohoo! These two side by side now. Oh, banging doors is Pearso on the inside, Marshall on the outside. This is a battle for the top 5. Ferguson, we're going to ride on board. Oh no, they've pinned each other there. They've come together. There goes Marshall off the track. He's going to cut the circuit and come back on. Oh, that's dangerous stuff. There goes Ferguson around the outside. Wowee. Pearso on the outside. Gets the job done. I don't know. That's going to be one for the stewards for sure, because there was a lot of kerfuffling going on there between those two guys. Marshall just sending it across the grass and I guess maintaining the gap advantage maybe off the track. Who knows? But that's not for me to say or not. No red wines for me. If I was on the wines tonight, I'd be absolutely done for. So I won't be doing that. I haven't stumbled over too many words, so that's a dead giveaway, ladies and gents. Once we start to slur towards the end of the race, that's when you know the Coddies has got stuck into. But here we go now. This battle is just on here. Here goes Marshall around the outside. A little bit of contact, as you can see there, from Ferguson. He gets out of it, and now Marshall's got the clear run on Pierce. But he's just, he's just going to fucking send it now up the inside. Oh, it's contact maybe. But Pierce has the better of it now on the inside line. Marshall, really nicely done. Just cuts the nose off and says, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll have that. Ferguson looking in now, chiming in, trying to get a piece of that pie. but that pie's expensive. Here goes Pierso, just having a bit of a nightmare on the exit there, and that'll invite Ferguson down the inside at 6. But as we've seen, this circuit is so good for racing. You get an overtake done, you really have to consolidate. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen for you. And now you can see the proof is in the pudding. Ferguson, does have the advantage, but the suck is strong down the back. We're going to see what Pierce can do. We'll get an upside view here from the chopper. Here goes Pierce, just right up the inside. Really nicely done there from both drivers. That's a blatant track cut there from Ferguson. I don't know how many he's got left in the book, but that's -1, that's for sure. Great action here from these guys. Wowee. 6 laps to go. Let's ride on board for a lap with Matt Cotter. You can see the wheel work there. Matt Cotter really busy behind the wheel. Certainly likes to dance that thing on the edge of grip, especially on the rears. You've seen him in the Gen 2s. He was just Mr. Slide. So he's got a way of handling that car. It's very unique to him. And you'll see more of that all throughout this season. More to come. These two guys, yeah, all these guys are going to get so used to racing one another throughout this season. It's just going to get better and better as we go through. So Clunan now on the back of Pierso. 6 laps to go now. I think everyone's probably done with their pit stops. The top 5 all on soft tyres, followed by these two guys on the hards. That's Pierce and Cicluna. Behind them is Lachlan Grant and Will Kirk, both on the softs as well. So they're making up ground. We're gonna switch to Grant because he's very close to Will Kirk. Wow, he's just searching for a way through the inside there. Beautiful. I think Grant has plenty of downforce on the back of that car because it is very hard to go around that turn at full chat, especially at the line that he took without a fair amount of downforce on the back. So we can talk about setups all day here on the broadcast, and there are so many ways to skin the same cat. You'll probably find that each and every one of these guys have got vastly different setups. And it's more about learning what works for you. It's very easy to come into a new series or a new car to learn, and you want to just get a setup that everyone's using. You ask in the chat, you go, give us who's got a setup for Albert Park? And one of the fast guys flick through a setup, and you'll find you end up going slower. It's because setups are and should be tailored to your driving style. And if you don't know your driving style, that's perfect time to get in contact with my mate Zach O'Reilly, who is offering driver training to anyone out there who wants it. I know his schedule's pretty full, but it might be on a first come, first serve basis. And I tell you what, if you come first and get served first, you'll be coming again later on in the in the grand scheme of things when you see yourself going up the order of the racing. The gap at the front, though, is starting to stretch. Matt Cotter really getting the handle and the grips on that Chev Camaro, the number 99. He's been on fire tonight. And the only man really to take the fight to Project 4. Harley Marshall, another honourable mention. Thank you so much, Ron Marshall, mate. $20 donation. Gee, you guys are just so generous. We love yous, we love yous, we love yous. It makes it so worthwhile to know that we're not just out here broadcasting to no one. 38 concurrent viewers here at the moment. Hope you're all enjoying the show. This will be happening every 2 weeks for the next 8 rounds, 9 rounds, however many it is. I'm sure we'll have all the graphics next week. We'll have the calendar. We'll have everything. It'll be a little bit more professional once we are both together, myself and Zach. As we said, today was a little bit of a kerfuffle, but we got it done, and the vision is going out to you all live here in YouTube. Look at the throttle trace, everyone, of Daniel Cicluna. Look at how smooth he gets on the throttle, and that there, ladies and gents, or kids at home who want to learn how to drive a V8 supercar, that is how long it takes to get from 0 to full throttle. And that's a massive mistake you see a lot of new drivers make. They get a bit of the red mist and they want to go fast and they want to slam that throttle down, but as soon as you do that, you go on a little spin adventure. Look at this. Now watch this. As he comes out of turn 1, look at that. Just gets off the throttle and nice and smooth all the way up to 100%. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why these guys are the best drivers in the country. The fine motor skills are certainly something to behold. So congratulations to all of these guys out there. It's so good to watch. They make it look easy. I don't know how much I can cream on about it. It's so good. But 4 laps to go. I digress. Matt Cotter is in the lead of this race, and he's had it all his own way. Just about. We thought he might have. I thought he might have got the strategy wrong, but it turns out the Project 4 guys still had to come in for a second pit stop. So it all worked out well for him in the end. Now he's just stretching that lead out. 3.1 seconds to go to second place. As you can see in the background there, Alex McEwen get a little bit sideways. But I'll tell you what, Project 4 will they don't need to push too hard here at the moment. Oh, excuse me. They don't need to push too hard here at the moment. They would be so happy with a second and third, and that would be a round win, I assume, for Nick Mello. Ooh, it'd be close. There is a 5-point bonus for the fastest lap as well, so that will get applied after the racing, and so 10 points up for grabs over the 2 races, and that might be enough over the stretch of a season to decide who wins. So every single lap counts here in this championship. Every single race counts here in this championship. As I said, so competitive. Look at that camera angle. Let's hold it on here for a little bit. I know Fitness likes that angle. I know I like that angle. You get a real sense of the speed of these V8 supercars. I don't like the aperture going in and out like that, but it is what it is, ladies and gents. Here comes Matt Cotter. Here comes Alex McEwen. That gap's just hanging around that 3-second mark. 3 laps to go here on the opening round of the V8 Supercars. Pierce and Grant swapping position. Pierce going slowly. I wonder what's happened to him there. Maybe just getting a little bit, sideways out of turn 1. It's easy to do, ladies and gents, because you want to be hugging that inside. Well, I guess it's the outside of turn 1, but it's like AstroTurf as well. So you got to be so careful on the throttle because you will light them up. Very easily indeed. Dean Hanley back here in 14th position. Looked like him and Hughesy swapped positions, but it's just the timing tower doing funny things. But here is one of the Padawan of Sir Zach O'Reilly. There goes Hughes off into the kitty litter. That's a disaster for him. He's got 3 laps to go and he's actually binned it. And he's stuck. I don't know if he's going to get out of there, but he's going to lose maybe a position. There's a fair gap back to Benny Aspin, so he might be all right. He's just going to get back out on track. Very slowly indeed. Poor old Hughesy. He'll do better next time. He's a great driver. He's a very good drifter as well. Braden Moore in the chat cheering on his mate Pearso. Go faster. Well, he's going as fast as he could back there, but not fast enough to hold off Lockie Grant. I think it was a big mistake there from Pearso anyway. So once he gets back going in a straight line, I assume that gap will come back down and the fight will be on again. We're going to find them on track. Here they are. They're not too far away from each other. Riding on board with Pearso now. Very smooth operating. You can see the wheel work. Not too much oversteer or corrections required in the way he goes about his business. And I think that's a good way to do it. Braden Moore says he just needs to believe. It's true. It's true. You've got to manifest these things out there on track. Manifest the win out there for Pearso from 8th. I don't know. It's a tall order. Tell you what, if anyone can do it, it's the big dog. It's the magician, they call him. The magic man. See what they can do. Matt Cotter, however, that gap is still around the 3-second mark. Very nicely done. These guys are, wowee. You guys are getting carried away now. I'm going to have to start giving some of this back. Thank you so much, Fabian. You both own shares in SimSational TV now. 49% stakeholders. Ferguson and Will Kirk getting stuck into each other side by side. Ferguson just on the cusp of the top 10, giving Kirk a little bit of a Bit of a hurry up there. Whoa. Shane Van Gisbergen style. He loved to do that. Just a little bit of a tap on the exit. Leave the car vulnerable down the straight. And just take that thing. And it doesn't look like it's a bump and run in the traditional sense, which used to be you give him a little bump on the entry to the turn and they carry just a little bit more speed and end up going deep, and you can come up on the inside or underneath them. That's the traditional bump and run, but Van Gisbergen reinvented that one and used to give his competitors a little bit of bump on the exit, which compromised him. Oh no, there goes Kirk. Oh, off in a cloud of smoke. Disaster. He's only lost one position there, so not too bad. But not too good on the second last lap. That's not what you want to see, ladies and gentlemen, from the Simblacks team. But overall, the Rangout boys doing a fantastic job out there. All of them in the top, apart from Goff, they're all sort of, it's all thereabouts. So, geez, all these guys are going to suit different tracks as well. Albert Park being the exception when it comes to Australian circuits. As you know, a lot of the Australian circuits are narrow, windy, and short in the way of track size. This is a, bona fide Grand Prix circuit. So very much wider than they're used to, probably a bit smoother, and definitely longer. But poor old Kirky is just going from bad to worse here. I think he's lit his tyres up and they're absolutely shagged. So he's just got a couple of laps to hang on. Try and consolidate what he can from that. But here's the man. He's just started his final lap here for race 2, the feature race here in round 1 of the AK Racing Gen 3 V8 Supercars season. It's a feisty one out here, ladies and gents. So competitive indeed. I cannot wait to go back and watch the replay of the Super 2 and see some of the guys that are going to be probably occupying this grid in a few races' time, because that's how it goes here, ladies and gents. We are running a promotion and relegation system. So after 2 rounds, the top 2 drivers from Super 2 will be promoted up into the main grid, and the bottom 2 drivers from this grid will be down in Super 2. So keeping things alive there in the racing stakes. Everyone gets a chance to show their skills out here on the main circuit against some of these guys who are just dead set aliens in their own right. Cotter now starting the celebrations down the back straight. He's come back to racing here in 2025, and he's certainly put his mark on this V8 championship already. He's got the Project 4 boys maybe a little bit worried. And I'll tell you what, Scott Cordham down there in 9th position will be cheering to the high heavens. He's picked a pretty good teammate for his first time back as well. But Matt Cotter rounds the penultimate turn now. We might just see a little bit of a celebration soon from the big dog, but maybe just keeping it subdued because he just wants to get across the line and secure his win here in race 2. For round 1, Matt Cotter crosses the line for the checkered flag. Brilliant drive from him, not only in the first race, but the second one as well. He's one to watch out for, certainly a championship contender here. Wowee. And rounding out the placings, we've got Alex McKeown crossing the line in 2nd place. Nick Mello in 3rd. Probably takes the round win. I'll have to check the results, but it's going to be very close between those guys. Harley Marshall, brilliant drive from him up in 4th. What about this guy? Driver of the day, Jack Ferguson up there. Takes the top 5 in his first race here in the Gen 3s. Oh boy, I can hear the celebrations down there in the next street over, where he lives. So beautiful driving there from him. Daniel Cicluna, take your hat off there for a top 6. Lockie Grant as well, beautiful showing from him. Too bad about his teammate Scotty Cordham, as we said, cheering to the high heavens. Crosses the line in 8th. Something's gone on there. Someone's dropped off the track. That is Pearso in 9th position. Andrew Ferguson Senior crossing the line now in 10th position, with Andre Elliott just behind him in the background. Jason McFadden rounding out your top 12. And then there's a little bit of a gap back to Dean Hanley for SDD driver training Academy. Shout out to those guys. Give them a follow on Facebook if you wish. Well, not if you wish. I'm ordering you. Go and look up SDT on Facebook. There's the logo. Let's zoom in on that. There you go. Simulator driver training. Shout out to those guys. Doing good things in the community. Scotty Garrick across the line for AC Karting as well. Check out that Discord. Exciting things happening over there as well. In the land of go-karting in Assetto Corsa. Jesse Marshall, 15th. He'll be pretty happy with that, but I know he can do better, and Ron does as well. So look out for him around the next time. That MBR team will be doing the sums, doing the engineering work in the background too. Make their way up the order. Benny Asplin, great showing from him. There was a few times over this race where he had really good pace as well. So just getting the consistency put together now for him, and you'll see better results for Benny Asplin in the coming rounds. Will Kirk, bit of a disaster towards the back. He can do better. We've seen how quick he can be in the Wednesday Cup. The car's got a bit of damage out in the front too, so better days for him. Hughes out of the server in 18th. Dion Clerk first across the line in the Toyota. There it is. Beautiful little car as well. Curtis Manis in 20th. Watch out for him as well. He's one of the danger guys once he gets his head around these new Gen 3 cars. A lot of these guys, actually, once they get their head around these Gen 3 cars, it's just going to tighten up this field, and my voice is going to be the death of me. Alan Nielsen across the line in 22nd. Ezra Simons, we've seen make a lot of ground up in the Wednesday Cup, so he is one to look out for in this format as well. Luke Newing, Matt Munro are the casualties of this round. But look at that, ladies and gentlemen. There is your podium for the night. Actually, I don't have everything set up for a driver interview, but we will get that done for the next round. We'll have all the driver interviews coming to you live from the next round, which is, ladies and gentlemen, let me just bring up my calendar on my end. Where are we going racing next, ladies and gentlemen? We're going across the ditch to the land of the long white cloud. Taupo or Tuapo. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe a Kiwi in the chat can pull me up. But that is probably the exact opposite of this track in terms of how you want to set your car up. That is windy, it is undulating, and it is going to bring plenty of action around that circuit. Holy moly, 26 of these guys plus, 30-odd in the Super 2. It's going to be an absolute spectacle, so looking forward to that. But that brings tonight's racing to a close, viewers. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, calling the action. I have as much fun watching while I call it, as I'm sure these guys are out there having while racing. So it does look like a hell of a lot of fun, and trust me, it's even more fun here in the hot seat. Bringing you guys all the action here on SimSational TV. Make sure you give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so, because SimSational are live at least 5 nights a week with all sorts of racing coming up tomorrow night. We've got some Le Mans Ultimate, multi-class racing in the hypercars. We've got GT3 class. That is always a spectacle, especially when those hypercars start to come up on the back of the GT3 cars. It's you got to keep your wits about you, and that will be headed by Zach O'Reilly there and Lindsay Muddle as well. So keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled for that one. That'll be on tomorrow night. Next time you speak to me will be on Wednesday night. It'll be the final round of the Wednesday Cup, and that's from Bathurst. It is open to all, so the paywall has been lifted on the Wednesday Cup for the last round at Bathurst. Just simply head to the register channel there on the Discord and sign up as you would normally. Hopefully we can pack out the grid there for that last hurrah in the Praga R1s, and so that'll be fantastic to see as well. But that's it from me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, calling the action here from Albert Park. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye out. I'm going to have to do Zach O'Reilly's sign-off here. As always, I am Chris Munro. I put the cunt in mad cunt. How about that? I'm going to have to cut that out, ladies and gentlemen. I don't like swearing on screen, but here we go. Zach O'Reilly has always been him. You guys aren't. He'll be back next round for some commentary gold, as always. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we are signing off now. We are SimSational TV. Keep it flat out.